All right, guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun right, triple E. Close, let's go. On one, on one.
Ready?
Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pick'em with Huddle GG, and today we're going to go over blocking 4-3 even 6-1, specifically the overload style pressure that your opponent is going to send at you out of this formation. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. And the play we're going to be focusing on for today's video is Sam Will Blitz. Now, they're going to have their coaching adjustments with auto alignment set to base. Auto alignment can be off or on. We can have this off for today's video. But again, auto alignment to base is very important. Now, when they come out in this play, what they're going to do a lot of times is they're going to shift away from the running back and try to overload the opposite side of him. Okay, and we're going to show you in the end of this video how that actually plays to our advantage in picking this blitz up. But I'll show you why this blitz can be effective if we don't know how to block this appropriately. So what they're going to do, again, they're going to shift that line away from the running back and then either crash the line that way or crash up. And what you're going to see is they're going to bring the user here into this A gap that they've created. Okay, now this open A gap, the reason they're going to stand here is just to make it even more of an overload look to the right side of the screen. If you just look at the play, the players themselves and the alignment, they have 4 players to the right side of the center. And we don't have 4 blockers to the right side of the center, right? So this look initially is going to be really hard to block regardless of what we do. And if we look at the actual play art, you can see that the left of screen defensive tackle, which is the guy on the left shoulder of the center, he's also crashing to the right. So we're going to have 4 pass rush angles to the right of the center. Plus, we're going to have the user here mugging the gap to make it even more difficult for our offensive line. And this is going to be really tough to block consistently, but we're going to show you how. So first of all, if we send our running back out and we only block 5, we're going to get screamed at from one way or the other simply because they're sending more people than we have to block, right? Again, that's just a simple numbers game. If we send that running back out, they're sending 6, showing 7, we're only blocking 5. That's never going to work out in our favor. Now, a lot of people will say, well, we just have to block our running back, right? We have to block 6 to have 6 people there to block the 6 that they're sending. So if we block our running back here and we look at our blocking play art, we still have that guy on the right side of the screen with the flame icon above his head, and no one's going to be able to take him and pick him up. So we're going to get pressure still from that right side because of this overload pressure, right? So if we say hike here, you're going to see that we're still able to get that outside linebacker off the edge to the right, and the actual outside linebacker to the left beat the running back as well. But even when we block our running back and we have 6 on 6, you can see that because of the overload to the right, they're still able to get that outside linebacker around the edge. And that's not going to give us much time at all in the pocket to make our reads down the field. So another thing that people suggest is they say, well, let's block our running back and let's slide towards the blitz. We're going to show you why that's not going to work for us either. Okay, so if we block this running back and we half slide to the right, which is the way that they are shifting their line, you can see that we're putting our center and our right guard in a very bad spot because of the distance that they have to go to pick up their man. Right, so you can see the center has to go from the middle of the field all the way to the hash mark, and that right guard has to go from his spot all the way about a yard or 2 outside of the hash mark. And that's a very, very tough ask for interior linemen. Now, offensive tackles can get out wide a little bit better and a little bit cleaner than guards and center, but your guards and your center do not get out wide as well, quite as well as your tackle can. So what you're going to see here is even when we slide towards the blitz, you're going to be able to still get this pressure because of the tough ask that we have on that center and the right guard. So that rep was a perfect example here. When we say hike, again, our center, his job is actually to pick up that right of screen defensive tackle, which is going to be this guy right here. This is the center's job because, again, our guard has to pick up number 7 and our tackle has to pick up the outside linebacker. So our center is responsible for this guy, and you can see he tries to get to him. Anytime we get an offensive lineman turning their back and facing the quarterback and running, like you can see our center here, that's a bad rep for the defense, and they're going to win that. Or that's a bad rep for our offense, and the defense is going to win that rep time and time again. So you can see here again, the center's trying to get there, but like we said, it's too big of an ask. It's too big for us to try to get him to get all the way out to get this player here. And you're going to get this pressure with this overload time and time again, even when we're blocking that running back and we're shifting towards the blitz. So how do we pick this up with just our running back? So what we're going to do, again, we're going to set this pressure up. They're going to slide away from the running back, crash away from the running back, bring this user down into the A gap. We're going to block our running back, and we're going to actually half slide away from their shift. Okay, so if they shift to the right side, we're going to half slide to the left. Now, what you're going to notice here is when we do this, our guards and our center are not being asked to get way far to the outside to pick up a player, right? If we half slide to the right, again, look at the difference between our center and right guard. You see how far their angles go out to the outside? Whereas if we half slide to the left here, you see none of those interior linemen are being asked to do anything like that anymore. Okay, so this is actually going to play to our advantage because, again, our offensive line is going to pick up the players that are fairly close to them, so they're not being asked to move too far. And then our running back's going to start his attention at that user. And then as soon as he realizes the user's not blitzing, he's going to get his attention to the free rusher, which is going to be that right of screen outside linebacker with the flame icon above his head. And that's going to allow us to pick this up time and time again in a really consistent manner. Now, you do need to realize they are sending 6 people. We are blocking one-on-one, so they're going to get sheds. Not like you're going to be able to hold on to this ball and throw it 60 yards downfield. So you do need to make fairly quick decisions with it. But we're going to be able to get a hat on a hat and pick this up enough where we're going to be able to make our reads down the field. So again, if we say hike, we're just going to stand here in the pocket to show you how we're going to be able to pick that up. We're not going to even make a throw there on that rep. But if we look at the replay here, you're going to see how clean the blocking is on this. Again, our offensive line is going to pick up the players pretty much right in front of them very easily. They're not being asked to move too far like we talked about. And then our running back is key. Again, he's going to focus on the user, as you can see he is here. But as soon as he recognizes that that user is not blitzing, he's going to change his attention to the outside linebacker, and he's going to get in perfect position to pick him up. And this is a great pocket for us to make a throw out of, again, when our opponent is sending 6 out of 4-3, even 6-1. Again, it is everybody one-on-one, so they're going to get sheds eventually, so you don't want to wait and try to throw bomb plays against this style of defense. But we're going to have plenty of enough time in a nice pocket there, again, to make our reads down the field. So if we run this one more time, again, just to show you that it will be consistent, they're going to shift that line. They're going to crash that line. They're going to bring this guy down here. Again, what we want to do is we want to block the running back, and then we want to half slide opposite of the direction that they shifted. Right, so in this situation, they shifted right, so we're going to half slide to the left. You can see this is what our play art should look like. Again, the outside linebacker to the side of the shift should be the player with the icon above his head. That's what we want because, again, our running back will get to him later on. But you're going to see, again, we're going to say hike, and we're just going to have an easy way to pick that up. Again, that time our guy gets shedded. That's what I talked about. You can't always avoid that. If we look at the replay, you can see, again, we pick up everybody. It's just our left guard gets beat by the defensive end fairly quickly. Again, there's nothing we can do about that. We have a hat on a hat. Anytime we talk about blocking, that's what we want. We want to focus on getting a hat on a hat. And then from there, we just have to trust that our offensive linemen are going to hold those blocks. All right, so again, one more time. Block your running back, half slide, opposite of the way that they shifted. And then we're going to stand here, and you can see how we have plenty of enough time to make our reads down the field. Again, even if our guard gets beat there, we have a hat on a hat, so nobody's coming in free at our quarterback. And obviously, the better lineman that you have, the better this is going to be for you. But you're going to see that we can run this over and over and over, and it doesn't matter how many times we run it. You're not going to be getting these free runners that we saw when we were setting it up the other way, right? So when we were just blocking the running back, or we were half sliding towards the blitz, again, none of that is going to be as effective as when we do it like this. Obviously, we want our receiver to catch that ball there. But you can see, again, main goal of this video is just to talk about the pocket. And you can see, once again, this is just going to be great pocket against this. Plenty of enough time. Again, if our guard doesn't get beat right away, we're going to have a lot of time here, as you can see. And this just gives us plenty of time to make our reads down the field. Obviously, we're not running anything crazy right now. Route combination-wise, just want to show you how this is going to be a very consistent way for us to block this 4-3, even 6-1 overload style pressure. And if you guys are looking to get even better at Madden, make sure to join our free Discord by going to huddle.gg/Discord. Have a great day.